Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be reacting to the entire history of FNAF, a video I found and just picked it and said why not. The original links of the description for the channel and the video will be in the description down below so you can check it out for yourselves. And subscribe, and let's keep going, and let's start the video.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier and welcome to Five Nights at Freddy's.
And that's Five Nights at Freddy's. Let me stop it right when the sound stops here.
Scariest game of all creation.
Hey everybody, today I want to talk to you guys about Five Nights at Freddy's.
What's up YouTube, what's going on? Corey Kinchin here and welcome to Five Nights at Freddy's. No, this isn't gonna be a good time.
Kudos to the guy who's made this horror game, seriously.
Hello?
Hello. If you're hearing this, that means that you beat 50/20 mode, and I have to do an interview now. I was gonna try and keep it going for a while, but...
DJ Stir. He is an incredible, I would almost call him a speedrunner of Five Nights at Freddy's games.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier and welcome back to Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh yeah! Let's go! Music Man!
Today, the day I'm uploading this video, is Five Nights at Freddy's 8th birthday. Five Nights at Freddy's has been around for 8 years, which means there's actually fans of the franchise that are as old as the games are. Which is crazy to think about. Even though I was 14 when FNAF began, I've been along this ride since basically the beginning. And I thought it'd be pretty cool to bring a few of my friends on this video to help share their stories about FNAF and how they first found the games and how the games have impacted their lives. So this is kind of a double video. You get the entire history of FNAF, but also a major collab between a bunch of FNAF YouTubers telling their stories about the franchise along the way. So without further ado, let's get into the entire history of Five Nights at Freddy's. And this story doesn't begin where you may think. FNAF may have been released in 2014, but its true beginning goes all the way back to December 29th, 2013, when Chipper & Sons Lumber Co. was released by Scott Cawthon. After creating various animations and RPG games such as The Desolate Hope, The Desolate Room, and Eye for Moon for many years beforehand, Scott Cawthon decided his next game was going to be Chipper & Sons Lumber Co. The game centers around a beaver who is just starting to get into the lumber business, and the game came with mixed reviews, with reviewers stating that the characters in the game looked creepy and resembled animatronic dolls. The game itself doesn't have much to do with FNAF, it's these reviews that really sparked the idea that would later be known as Five Nights at Freddy's. Scott wasn't all for making FNAF right away, he actually had to choose between 3 games. He decided he wanted to give game making one last try before he moved on to a different career. He was deciding between, quote, a sequel to Desolate Hope, a remake of my first game, Legacy of Flan, or a new idea about animatronics and security cameras. Receiving negative reviews on something you worked hard on is not fun and can be very demotivating, but Scott eventually decided to embrace the reviews and try his hand at making a horror game based around creepy animatronic dolls and security cameras. This is how FNAF was born. We don't know much about Scott's process while making the first FNAF game, but we do know some things that he hid in the newspapers in Five Nights at Freddy's 3. In the blurred text on the sides, Scott revealed that Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy were just placeholder names while he was creating the game, and that he slowly fell in love with the names as he continued production. We also learned that Scott modeled Foxy while in the car on a 14-hour trip to visit his in-laws in the summer of 2014. He said, quote, it's very difficult to model a 3D character on a bumpy car ride. Maybe this is why Foxy looks so torn up. While we were visiting, my kids got to experience Foxy's jump scare for the first time. He also said, quote, in real life, I tend to have waking nightmares, meaning that I walk in my sleep, etc. One night, I dreamt that Bonnie was in the hall outside my door. As I jumped out of bed and rushed to hold the door shut, I discovered that the door was locked, and it filled me with dread. In FNAF 1, when the doors don't work, it means something is already in your office. So when I felt that the door was locked, I felt like Bonnie was in my bedroom and was about to get me. Thankfully, I woke up. Scott also revealed that he started a crowdfunding campaign for the first FNAF game and raised a whopping $0. He continued saying, quote, in the original game, Freddy was never originally meant to move around the diner and was only meant to get you if your time ran out. This was changed before release. Scott loved interacting with fans, but was otherwise a very private man, so these short paragraphs hidden in the newspaper of FNAF 3 were a welcome surprise to a community that was hungry for as much info about the series as possible. On June 14th, 2014, less than 2 months before the game's release, Scott Cawthon uploaded the official gameplay trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's to his YouTube channel, simply titled Five Nights at Freddy's. There are rumors that Scott uploaded a slightly different trailer before this one that was removed, featuring an endoskeleton with sharper teeth, but Scott never has officially confirmed that was the case. One of the most notable things in the trailer is the fact that Bonnie is seen running down the left hallway and not Foxy. This was later changed during the development process. Another notable thing is the the ending scene where you see Bonnie ripping off his face. It's possible Bonnie originally had a bigger role to play in the game, or Scott just featured the character more because he personally thought that Bonnie was the creepiest. 1 month later, on July 13th, an official gameplay video of FNAF appeared on Scott Cawthon's YouTube channel. The video is only 2 minutes and contains gameplay from Night 5. One interesting thing to note is at the beginning of the night, you can see a sprite of a person with the number 1 next to them, indicating that there possibly used to be a set number of lives you would be awarded at the beginning of the game/night. This was later taken out of the game. The first Five Nights at Freddy's game was officially coming into its final form, ready for its official release and about to start an 8-year-long journey of everything from Purple Guy to Fazgoose. So here we go. The demo of Five Nights at Freddy's was released on IndieDB on July 23rd, 2014. There were not many people playing it at all close to the demo's release, except for one person. There seems to be only one person who received not just the demo, but the full game almost 2 weeks before its official release, and that was Ben the Scoopist. Ben was the first ever person to post a gameplay video of Five Nights at Freddy's on YouTube. In the video, he mentions that he previously played The Desolate Hope on his channel and that Scott sent him FNAF early.
Really excited to play this. He actually came out and gave it to me, which is so cool. It's actually on Steam Greenlight. I'll throw all the links up to his website, to the Steam Greenlight.
Ben's video only sits at 50k views despite being the first ever playthrough of FNAF on YouTube, which blows my mind. The full game was eventually released to the public on August 8th, 2014 on a website called Desura. The game blew up almost instantaneously because of one YouTuber who decided to make a Let's Play video about it, Yamimash. On August 10th, 2014, only 2 days after the game's release, Yamimash posted his playthrough of FNAF. He was one of the first YouTubers to play FNAF, and it seemed like his audience loved the game. His video then caught the attention of a young Markiplier, whose channel was at roughly 2.7 million subscribers at the time. Markiplier's Let's Play was posted on August 12th and was an instant success, garnering over 7 million views in its first month.
What is FNAF? Let's just start at the very beginning, baby. FNAF, F-N-A-F. I discovered FNAF, like probably most of you out there, via the king Markiplier. Markiplier was playing this brand new game, Five Nights at Freddy's, and it just turned into an internet sensation. It swept across the nation back in 2014, can you believe?
I want to talk a bit about how FNAF even got introduced to me in the first place, because it's a fairly weird story how it came about, and it's all thanks to my good friend Baz. I remember it was a New Year's Eve. It was December the 31st, 2014, and we were just playing some poker, enjoying ourselves, you know, having some casual games, and he mentioned this thing called Five Nights at Freddy's. It was abbreviated FNAF. I was like, wait, what? Apparently it had like animatronics in, it had this creepy gameplay mechanic, but there was this other layer to the game which Baz emphasized, talking about how there's creepy mysteries within it, and like if you research, you might find weird things. I remember being super interested immediately from that point, and I got hooked on the whole concept of the game.
After Mark played FNAF, the game was in an odd situation. FNAF started blowing up before it was even released on Steam. August was also the month that ScottGames.com was updated with the new FNAF teaser for the very first time. Scott posted the official poster for the game, along with a hyperlink that encouraged fans to vote to get FNAF greenlit on Steam and to download the full game on Desura. Due to FNAF's sudden rise to fame, the game got greenlit pretty quickly, being added to Steam 8 days after Markiplier played it. Pretty soon, every Let's Player on the planet was playing FNAF. Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie, CoreyX Kenshin, Dan TDM, Moist Critical, Aya's Cupquake, and even a young Daco's Games tried playing the new indie hit. Other than the fact that FNAF videos got a ton of views, people loved the new take on the indie horror genre. Another thing that started popping up was FNAF songs. A channel called The Living Tombstone released their FNAF song called Five Nights at Freddy's the same month as the game's release, which went on to accumulate over 272 million views. Other artists making FNAF songs started popping up over time, such as DA Games, CG5, JT Music, CK9C, and Tryhard Ninja.
Five Nights at Freddy's! Hello! Hello, John! Hello, FNAF! I'm here on the anniversary of Five Nights at Freddy's. It's been 8 years. Can you believe it? So John has invited me on his amazing channel to talk about my favourite memories in the whole of FNAF. It's been a wild ride. FNAF 1 altogether is a memory to me. I can't really think of anything specific with FNAF apart from just the whole game, the atmosphere of the game. When you think back at FNAF 1, just the atmosphere music and the carousel music as well. Foxy singing, dum 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 dum.
One other thing that started popping up was FNAF fan games. The list of FNAF fan games that came out even in just 2014 and 2015 is way too long for me to read right now, but we will talk more about fan games later. One of the main hubs where FNAF fans go to speculate was created on August 14th, 2014, and that was the FNAF Reddit. The Reddit page is where the community would come together to post fan art, theories, and to interact with Scott Cawthon, who once in a while would reply to some of the community's posts. Meanwhile, in the mainstream media world, FNAF was getting pretty good reviews. The Highlander back in 2014 stated that, quote, players looking for thrills should visit Freddy Fazbear's Pizza because Five Nights at Freddy's is the most unique indie horror game on the market right now, and we need more games like it. The game's reviews and reactions definitely weren't all sunshine and rainbows, though. There were a fair amount of YouTubers and game reviewers who disliked the game, but for a small indie game made by one guy, it was doing pretty well. To me, the game's atmosphere really sells it. When you put on headphones and dive into the game, it actually feels like you're trapped in that office being hunted by haunted animatronics. But obviously, one of the top things that made the game as popular as it was the jump scares. On September 11th, 2014, ScottGames.com was updated with a new FNAF teaser for the second time ever. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, The Grand Reopening, was officially on the way. The game had a tentative release date of 2015, and people were hyped. With the confirmation of a sequel, FNAF was now not just a one-hit wonder, it was developing into a franchise. 16 days later, on September 27th, 2014, ScottGames.com was updated once again with a new teaser for the second installment. This one reading Something Borrowed, Something New, with our first look at Withered Bonnie and Toy Bonnie. And then, only 9 days later, on October 6, 2014, a new teaser for FNAF 2 dropped on Scott Games. It was our first look at Withered Foxy and Mangle.
Now, in terms of FNAF 2, this one is when everything went crazy, okay? I remember Scott released the first teaser for it, and it was the toy animatronics. Seeing those guys for the first time, seeing these new shiny animatronics was so insane, and also getting to theorize about, you know, Chica 2.0, Foxy 2.0 before we knew what the toy animatronics were.
People loved this teaser because Foxy seemed to be a fan favorite character at the time. The hype for FNAF 2 could not be more real, and fans were now more excited than ever due to the constant release of new teasers. Scott Cawthon was a master at building hype for his games, and this strategy is what helped give FNAF legs for years to come. Another 9 days after the Foxy and Mangle teaser, we got our first look at one of the new mechanics for the game. We got the no place to run and exactly one place to hide teaser. This teaser hinted that we may have to climb into an animatronic to hide from the others. This ended up being the player putting on a Freddy mask to disguise themselves from the other animatronics' facial recognition systems. This was actually confirmed shortly after this teaser came out when the official trailer for FNAF 2 released on Scott's YouTube channel on October 21st, 2014. The trailer was an instant hit. People loved the cinematic feel of the trailer with its epic music and animations. Shortly after the trailer's release, people started posting their reactions and analyses. This was the beginning of the FNAF YouTuber community. I remember the biggest thing people were talking about is how the game had no doors. The doors in FNAF 1 were a staple of the gameplay and made the players feel safe. Now that they were gone, people were terrified for the next installment. The trailer began with the bop of the 17th century, London Bridge.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady.
Hello? Hello? Can we get back to the video now?
The use of that song was perfect for a FNAF trailer because it kind of turns something that's supposed to be for kids into something that is horrifying, kind of like FNAF. One of the biggest rumors about the trailer was that if you played the London Bridge song in reverse, it would say, "The killer is out, Mike kill all, this is enough." I remember.
Okay, you gotta be kidding me. I never thought to do that. See, the FNAF community is crazy. I'm part of it. It's just, wow.
Seeing those videos and not only believing it, but being even more terrified for the new game. The trailer revealed that the animatronics could just jump out of the darkness at any time. The trailer also revealed that the phone guy was back. This left many people questioning how this could be, knowing that phone guy supposedly died in FNAF 1. Either phone guy survived FNAF 1 or this game was a prequel. The theories from the FNAF community started flooding in, and speaking of theories, It's worth mentioning that one of the other top videos that helped FNAF become as popular as it was released shortly after the FNAF 2 trailer. On October 23rd, 2014, MattPat from The Game Theorist posted his first theory video on FNAF. While Markiplier's viral playthrough of FNAF got people hooked with the gameplay, MattPat's video combined with all of the new teasers we were getting really got people hooked with the story of the game. Markiplier and MattPat's videos were officially going viral, setting the stage for FNAF to become a huge franchise in the gaming space. With all of these teasers and the newly released trailer, people were so hyped to see what Scott had in store, searching for any clues about what the game would be about and when it would be released. This is when things started to get interesting. Scott actually did one of his only interviews ever on November 4th, 2014 with ClickTeam Fusion, the company that made the software that Scott used to make his FNAF games. I'll leave a link to the interview in the description below if you want to check it out. Scott reveals many cool things about his life before FNAF and some of his older games, but the main thing that got people's attention was the announcement that FNAF 2 would no longer be coming out in 2015, it would be coming out on Christmas Day 2014. This would not be the first time that a FNAF game got released earlier than expected. Only 5 days after that interview on November 9th, Scott Games was updated once again with its final FNAF 2 teaser. What many people may think is a black image with a box for Cam 11 at the bottom is actually our first look at the marionette. Several people in the community figured out that if you brighten the image, you can see a marionette standing in the prize counter area.
But in terms of my favorite memory, it was whenever they first released the marionette teaser, and me and Pro Class Gamer immediately DM'd each other on Skype, and we were like, dude, we gotta cover this. We did like a dual commentary covering the teaser and just talking about like, what is this thing? It's popping out of a box. It's like in the shadows, and just the amount of like obscurity that was in the game, and that like just not knowing what was really going on at that point was just the best.
People had a ton of theories about this image, but without more context, it was hard to figure out anything concrete about how this character would fit into the lore in the gameplay. We would soon get that context when the official extended FNAF 2 demo was sent to select YouTubers by Scott Cawthon only a day later, over a month before the game's projected release date. Markiplier, CoreyX Kenshin, and a few other YouTubers received the demo directly from Scott himself via email on November 10th. They were the only people on the planet who were able to play one of the most anticipated games of 2014, so naturally their Let's Plays blew up. Markiplier already had his first 3 videos up on the game in the span of 24 hours, with the first one already accumulating over 3 million views. FNAF was officially back and blowing up all over again thanks to some of the biggest YouTubers on the planet. People loved FNAF 2. With the new mechanics, new pizzeria, new jump scares, people were enamored with the experience it brought. But one part of the game that was brand new that kept everyone curious about what was going on at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza was the cutscenes. One of the major reasons the original FNAF took off was because of its lore. Using the posters on the walls, people started to get a sense that there was a story behind these haunted animatronics. And with the help of MattPat and Reddit, people really started to try and find every clue possible to get us closer to a concrete story. Scott decided to lean into the storytelling aspect a lot more with FNAF 2, introducing various 8-bit minigames and 3D cutscenes throughout the game. After completing each night, you would get a 3D cutscene of you on stage as
I'm up to make a part 2 with this, just like how we're adding to the FNAF lore. I'll have to make a part 2, so this will be part 1. Might be more, might be part 3, 4, but we'll see. This will be part 1, so I'll see you guys later. Peace.